Hey y'all, hey, I'm back again. Did you miss me? I know I was gone so long. All right, y'all. So I got about 20 minutes where I gotta go pick up Camille. So I'm gonna go through my little list real quick. So, so right now I'm talking about 5 ways to know that you are ready for real estate coaching. Yay! I am saying yay because y'all, it's the summertime coming up, and this is a great time to be about your business. Hopefully, things can slow down for you just a little bit so that you can really start to focus because we do all of these great goals at the beginning of the year saying this is what I want to do, this is how I want my year to go, and then about midway things just start to fall flat. All right, so just to kind of, keep y'all in the loop with what's going on. Like, if you have not noticed, inflation is real and it's about to get even more real because we are definitely facing hyperinflation sooner than later. So now is the time to get super serious about your real estate goals. All right. And so Michael and I, we have decided that we are going to start teaching group real estate. So not so much one-on-one, preferably, but more, groups. And we still do some one-on-one, so don't be alarmed. But we do group sessions every first and third Thursday. And so it's something that, we coordinate time, make it seamless for everybody because we know everybody has work schedules and a busy life. All right. And so this is kind of just like a way for you to know, all right, I'm ready. I check off the list. My mind is right. My money is right. My thinking is right. Let's go. Run it. Okay. So first on my list, when you know that you are ready for real estate coaching, is number one, are you coachable? That is so important. Are you coachable? I think my Miami accent got in the way. Are you coachable? What does that mean? That means that if your coach tells you to do something, are you going to do it? Because oftentimes we get in these programs, we pay all this money for all this information, and then you feel like you know more than the coach. Oh, well, I saw on YouTube, they do it like this, and what they do is, okay, listen. That's great. That's another way of doing that. But this is how it works in this program. So, are you coachable? Are you willing to listen to what the coach is telling you and apply? You have to apply. Don't just listen, but apply what it is the coach is actually saying. All right. So, be open-minded. Don't come in with all of these, 5011 videos you watched before signing up to be a student, and now you're trying to still put all that information in with this information because it's going to collide. I promise you, it happens 100% of the time. Anytime you try to mix different theories, it never works. So if you hire a coach, listen to what that coach has to say. All right. Number two, how well do you handle rejection? This is very important because one thing that stops people is hearing the word no. Most people feel like they can take it. In the beginning, they're so excited. The emotions are high. All they see is the end goal. All they see is the future. They finally got started. And all they have in their mind is all the money that they're going to make, the house they're going to buy, the car they're going to drive, the trips they're going to take, the financial freedom they're going to have. And then, bam, you get hit with rejection. And no is very hard to receive. Trust me. Okay, it's even hard for me sometimes to keep hearing no. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to have a tough skin. Okay, and sometimes you don't know how tough your skin is until it's tested. So keep that in mind. But if you just know that you're a person that is, you break down at the sign of rejection, this is not the time to start thinking, well, maybe it's a sign that I ain't supposed to do this. And maybe it's a sign that this ain't what the Lord wants for me to do. No, you keep pushing through. You have to buy into that mind that says, this is hard. This was not going to be easy. And nobody told me it was going to be easy. But I know what I want, and what I want is more important than this person telling me no. So this person told me no, but somebody else is going to tell me yes. It's about numbers. That's why we encourage our students in different markets. And what we do every single month is we talk to a lot of people, because a lot of people are going to tell you no, but there's a small percentage is going to tell you yes. And that small percentage are the people that's going to give you the yes and give you the money that you're looking to have in your bank account, give you so that you can create opportunities for other people. So we are working with a very small percentage, but know that they exist and that they're out there. And one thing that I always did in the beginning, because I was a hot mess, y'all. I mean, I would hear no so much. I'd be like, listen, like my whole spirit was just rocked heavy, okay? I didn't want to talk the whole day. Back would be like, baby, what's wrong? I don't want to talk about it. But what I started to do in the beginning when I was so, just emotional about being rejected all day is I would, take a minute and just like watch shows like Martin. Because, like back in the day, Martin, I mean, Martin can still go. You can still put Martin on right now. And you can watch every episode and not get tired. Hello? So I would watch Martin. I would watch In Living Color. I would watch anything that I knew would just make me laugh, because it helped to like rewire my brain to get in a happy place. And then going back to a mentor, when I was willing to get advice, because I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was real stubborn in the beginning. Like, Michael could not tell me nothing. He'd be like, girl, you all stubborn bull. Well, I am a Taurus, but I would just feel like I already knew the answer, and so I didn't want to listen. But finally, I started to let my guard down, and he and I were able to start practicing. Okay, babe, this is what you're saying wrong. Like, you can't say this here, and you gotta wait to, say that there. Because everything is about timing. When you're on the phone, everything is about timing. There's certain things that you cannot say, because if you say it too soon, it can hurt your appointment setting. And so those are just little nuggets that I would, rehearse with him, and it built up my confidence, and I was able to have better success on the phones. Number 3, what is your why? What is your why? Why do you want to get into real estate? This is important, because oftentimes the number one thing we hear people say is, I just want to leave my job. Anytime I hear a person say that, I'm often concerned, because that's an emotion that can be changed. You wanting to leave your job, I'm sorry to say, is not a good enough reason to drop everything and get into real estate coaching. Not if your exit strategy is to quit as soon as you register your LLC. That is a big no-no. You want to have a concrete reason as to why you're doing this, because between the rejection, between the amount of time it may take for you to get your first deal, depending on how much work you put into your first deal, that job is going to look very attractive. That job is going to be like, you know what, maybe this ain't so bad, because at least I know when I'm getting paid. All right, let's just be real. So your why needs to be a very rooted, concreted vision as to why you're doing this. One thing I would say, even as a coach, that I had to learn is that not everybody is in it for the same reason. Some people want this because they simply want a vehicle to get up their forever home, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes me as a coach, I missed that and had to realize that the vehicle is what the person is aiming for. So whatever vehicle gets them to that pathway of getting their forever home, that's the vehicle they're going to use. So whether it's real estate, whether it's getting into credit repair, whether it's doing hair, whether it's doing taxes, whatever it is that's going to get them to their forever home, that's why they're going to do it. And so so now we have developed our own system where we can really ask some questions to make sure that this is a fit for you, because again, it can be a long journey when you are not necessarily rooted in something that can sustain you for the long haul. My reason for real estate, again, I've shared this a ton of times before. I may have. I didn't even want to do real estate. When I first met Michael, I was going to school for marriage and family therapy, and all I knew was real estate agents. So I didn't know nothing about real estate investing and this creative finance world and all this other stuff here. But eventually I submitted to this being our family business. All right. So as a family, if you happen to be a couple joining our program, are you willing to submit to this being a family business? So that way the whole family is involved in this journey. It makes it so much easier when everybody's on board, on the same page, and working towards the same goal. All right. And so what is your why? Number 4, do you want this to be a side hustle or a business? Now, in the beginning, we used to tell people, you could do it on the side because it's so much money in it. You can get one deal and make $10,000, and that's $10,000 for the month in addition to what you're making at work. But what I've come to realize is that unless you are just amazing at what you do out the gate, you really want to treat this as a business as opposed to a hustle, because a hustle is something you could pick up, put back down, pick up, put back down. And with real estate, especially when you're talking about networking and building relationships, because that's what a big part of this business is, the issue is that when you stop, you have to start all over again. You're literally starting from the ground up. And that's frustrating. That's tiring. That's a lot of work to have to keep, getting some sort of momentum and then stop right in the middle of your tracks, because now your attention is elsewhere. So, I know this is not everybody's favorite topic, but having a strong administrative skill set, if it's not you, maybe it's your wife, maybe it's your business partner, having somebody in your corner that is really good at administration is going to be so key if this is not going to be your full-time job or your full-time business, because in that way, when it's time for you to go back to that Rolodex, you have a follow-up system in place. All right. So it's okay for it to be something that is not your main job, because you may be working until you can fire yourself from your job and do this full time, which is actually the better way to go. But as you're building into a business, make sure you have a strong administrator in your corner if that's not you. Number 5. This is number 5. Are you able to think independently? Boy, let me tell you, okay? We're going to do the Coach Chronicles on YouTube. Shoot, I could really say what I want. But no, are you able to think independently? Like, that's so important, because, and this I can relate. This goes back to being programmed in the school system. Like, you're told what to do, when to do it. You have a syllabus, you have an outline of everything that's expected of you, what you got to read, what deadlines you got to read it, when you got to turn in your homework, what to write, how to write it, how to submit it, how to submit your homework. I mean, everything in school is boom, 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 bulleted for you, right? And so sometimes we come in with those expectations. Excuse me. We come in with those expectations in a setting that's not designed like that. So this setting, as Michael likes to say, is very Mr. Miyagi. Hands on, hands off, wax on, wax off. Like, step by step, yes. But school bulletin, like, no. Right? Because every situation is different. We've had some crazy scenarios that it's like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, who would even have thought that this would be an issue or come up in a real estate transaction? But it does. And so you cannot plan for every single scenario when it comes to selling a house. The seller might be cool, but the buyer might be a little cuckoo. The buyer might be cuckoo. The seller might be, whatever. So, or you have, certain things that come up during title search that were unexpected. I mean, it's just so many things that you just cannot expect for. So it's very hard to try to pinpoint every little thing. But as a coach, you can definitely guarantee if you have a question, your coach is going to be there to answer it. But it's important it's important to sometimes not necessarily go ahead of your coach, but to offer some of your own things that you may observe, because again, being in different markets, you may know your market better. You would know your market better than we do. If we're in Brunswick and you live in Tallahassee, you're gonna know different things that are being done in the area, different areas that are seem like they're growing and populating, and businesses are coming to, and maybe that's the area I need to focus my energy on. Or if you live in Atlanta, then you know certain things that the city plans to do in a particular area, and then that's where I need to focus my energy towards. Like, there's something you have to be able to offer your coach something to work with, is what I'm trying to say. Let's just keep it simple. Like, bring something to the table. Thank you, Daryl. Bring something to the table as well that will, allow the coach to coach you even better. One thing that I'll highlight, our students, Eric and Lavinia, when they first started with us, they already had a mindset of wanting to be successful in real estate. They went on to do Airbnb, which they're killing it in Alabama. We're so proud of them. But they did get their start in wholesale. And one thing that I admire, because I was, listening in on a lot of those phone calls with Eric and Michael, was Eric was already like, finding some of those deals and kind of creating those opportunities and just bringing them back to Michael. Like, hey man, I saw this house and it looks beat up, it looks abandoned. What should I do next? And Michael was able to tell him, okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna skip trace the property owner. This is how you're gonna do that. You're gonna get their phone number. If you can't skip trace them through that particular portal, then we'll try a different way to find them. Like, he was able to, pull more out of Michael as a coach because he gave him something to work with. And so as students, sometimes you may be kind of over here like, nah, I thought that. But again, like, you have to understand, you have very busy people that's taking time to coach you, and they are going to do what they promise to do. We are going to do what we promise to do, but you can get even more when you take the initiative to take those extra steps on your own. And so that's just a really good suggestion for anybody looking for coaching. To maximize your coach, the best way is to take what they've given you and start finding those addresses on your own. Start building your team. Hey man, I'm really thinking about hiring an acquisition manager. What are some questions I should ask in the interview? I'm really thinking about hiring, a CPA. What are some things I should look for? Like, these are things that will pull more out of your coach when you come prepared. All right. So that is my list, you guys. That is the 5 things that you should know if you are ready for real estate coaching. Like I said, times are definitely changing. Hyperinflation is real, it's coming, it's darn near already here, but imagine it like even worse. And so it's time to get like really serious and really prepared when it comes to business. Like I know it's turnip season, summertime is around the corner, but let's get serious about our business so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. All right, you guys, I gotta go get this little girl Camille. Ooh. All right, y'all. See you later. This is Hey Misty.